Hey everyone, welcome to SarteK programming. Today we will be seeing the fourth question of this series in which I will be covering previous year TCS NQT coding questions. This is the fourth video of this playlist. If you haven't checked the first three videos, do check them out. Now let's read the question. An automobile company manufactures both two-wheelers and four-wheelers. A company manager wants to know the production of both types of vehicle according to the given data below. First data is the total number of vehicles, which is V, and second data is the total number of wheels, that's W. The task is to find how many two-wheelers as well as four-wheelers need to be manufactured as per the given data. So this is the sample input. There are 200 vehicles and 540 wheels. What we need to print on output is how many of these 200 are two-wheelers and how many of them are four-wheelers. So for this particular input, the output is this 130 two-wheelers and 70 four-wheelers. This is the explanation. So we can see that 130 plus 70 is 200. So there are 200 vehicles and all the wheels are utilized. So if we do this operation, like if there are 70 four-wheelers, so there must be obviously four wheels to a four-wheeler. So 70 into 4 is 280, and then 130 into 2 is 260. So 280 plus 260 is 540. So all the wheels are utilized. Okay. Okay. So now these are the constraints. And if the constraints do not meet, we need to print the invalid input. So what are the constraints? That the wheels must be greater than or equal to 2, because since we need two-wheelers or four-wheelers, we can't obviously have one wheel. We cannot create a vehicle with one wheel. Okay, so this is the first constraint, and the second constraint is that vehicles should be even, because like if we have three wheels, we cannot create a vehicle, since we have to create just two-wheelers and four-wheelers. If it were for auto rickshaw, we could have done that, but the question states that we need to have just two-wheelers and four-wheelers. So we cannot have odd number of vehicles. And the third thing is we cannot have vehicles less than the number of wheels. Sorry, this needs to be like, so we cannot have vehicles more than the wheels. Imagine like if we have two vehicles and only one wheel. So if we have to create two vehicles and there's only one wheel, we can't obviously do that. So if we have given inputs like this, we must write like this. This is what we want, right? We want it to be even and more than 2. And wheels should be greater than vehicles. Number of wheels should be greater than number of vehicles. Okay, so if this constant do not meet, we will print invalid input. Now you can pause this video and try the solution on your own, and then come back again to see my solution. So let's see the solution. Okay, so first we will have two variables. One for vehicles, we will take number of vehicles as input, and then the wheels as input. So in this particular case, vehicles is 200 and wheels is 540. So we will see if wheels are odd, like if the number of wheels are odd. So how do we check it? If wheels mod 2 is equals to 1, like if it were 7, then 7 modulo 2 would be 1, because modulo means remainder. So when we divide 7 by 2, the remainder is 1. So if the remainder is 1, it means the number is odd, and if the number is odd, it is an invalid case. So we will see if the number of wheels are odd, and if it is, we will print invalid input. Then again there's second case, that is if wheels are less than 2, because if wheels are less than 2 then we cannot create a vehicle, because we need minimum 2 wheels to create a vehicle, right? If this is the case, we will print invalid input. Then there's third case, that is if number of wheels are less than number of vehicles. So if we have to create 20 vehicles and we just have 10 wheels, we can't obviously do that, so that would be also an invalid input. Okay, so now let's see the else part. So okay, what we will do, since we have to utilize all the vehicles, we would try and think that all the vehicles are four wheelers. So if it were the case, if all the vehicles would be four wheelers in this case, in this question, then we would have needed 800 wheels, since we have 200 vehicles and all the vehicles we are considering that are four wheelers, so they must be having four wheels, and so we would need 800 wheels, right? But do we have 800 wheels? No, we have 540 wheels. So these so there's a, so we don't have 260 wheels more. So if we would have 260 wheels more, we could have created all the vehicles as four wheelers, but we don't, we have 260 left. So this 260 would account to two wheelers, right? So those 260 wheels would be used for two wheelers. One two wheeler would have two wheels, so we would divide 260 by 2, and then we would get 130. So this 130 is the number of vehicles, and this 260 is the number of wheels that accounts for this number of vehicles, right? So if there are 130 vehicles, then obviously in two wheeler there would be 260 wheels. Okay, so that's what we have done here. We have count the number of two wheelers. We have done 4 into vehicles minus wheels, and this is a floor division. Why we have done floor division is because vehicle cannot be in decimal, right? Like vehicle cannot be 1.3 or 1.7 or 2.9. It can be either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So we need integer and we don't need floating point values. So that's the reason we have done floor division. So we have stored the number of two wheelers, and in total we had 200 vehicles, and we have found two wheelers. We have found that 130 vehicles are two wheelers, so 200 minus 130, that is 70, would be four wheelers, right? That's basic mathematics. Then we would run this, we will check for this input. So 200 vehicles and 540 wheels, and see, we've got the answer, 132 wheelers and 74 wheelers. This is what was given. Now we will check if these conditions are working. So like if we give a wrong input, so if we give odd number of wheels, we will have same vehicles and we will have odd number of wheels. Okay, so this is invalid input, because obviously one wheel wouldn't be in use. One wheel wouldn't be in use if we have two wheelers. So, and if we have four wheelers, a vehicle would have just three wheels, so one wheel would be less. Okay. Now the second, we will see this if there are just one wheel. Okay, so we need one vehicle and we have one wheel, so it's an invalid input because we need at least two wheels. And then we will see if the number of wheels is less. So if we have to make 50 vehicles and we just have 10 wheels, then it's also an invalid input. So you can try it out for different inputs and see it for yourself. And this is it. This is the solution. Thanks for watching, and do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.